Hello there, this is Rom Wills coming back at you with yet another video. What's considered conventionally handsome is not always picked by women. And this is continuing a thread I started in my last video. Because that's one of the funniest things. Because think about it, you got guys out here saying, well, this is conventionally attractive. This guy's handsome. And then you got some other guys saying, well, I'm not handsome because I don't have this, I don't have this. But who really picks that? Seriously. I don't see videos with women constantly saying this, this, and this. They'll just put up who they think is handsome, but it's not always what's considered conventionally handsome. See, what's conventionally handsome really means what's being promoted in the culture, in the media. But let's be real about something. And I really thought about this. I'm like, okay, usually the guys held up are like movie stars, right? Movie stars and models, right? Those are usually the icons or whatever's popular. But I'm like, there's a lot of game men choosing them. If you talk about model scouts and who's picking the models, who's making the decision, they're made by men. Indeed, a lot of these guys call themselves rating other guys' faces are that. I'm still waiting to see some women rating the faces, which to me is more logical. Shoot, it should be it. Trust me, I'm actually thinking about like getting some women together and say, we're gonna charge a bit, get a crew of women. Like every guy's face will get rated by like 3 women at a minimum. Seriously, it's like, wow, that could be lucrative. But to me, I'm like, why would you ask a guy? See, understand something. Every guy or women, women, when they look at a man, they looking at his face, but just by the nature of women, it's going to be according to their taste, their personal taste, and also what kind of emotion that they receive from looking at the man's face. So they looking at it totally different. And see, what did I say in the last episode? A woman's vagina is affected by what's in her heart, her emotional state. That's why you can get some men who can get a woman and he might not be conventionally handsome or even handsome to her, but he touched her emotionally. So they looking at it different. And I've seen several reports of that. Like guys will say, well, this guy's it. I've seen magazine articles. They'll say, yeah, the perfect guy got to look like this and muscular and everything. While the woman looking at something totally different. In fact, there's been some memes and stuff. You know, you got the guys all muscular and everything. And then the woman will be, but then the meme will say, yeah, but only people looking at that are other men. I'm like, man, even when I talk body game, that's why I say, just be your best and see which women like it. Seriously, that's why. Because to me, you can't go by what the men are saying. Even when some men who try to say, oh, it's objective, it's always the men saying that shit. It's always the men. And look, I'm gonna put the race card into it. It's always white men saying that. I want y'all to think about that. And that's something to take in mind. It's like you're going to base your self-esteem, what you're doing, off of what the men are saying. Now, if you're basing it off what the women are saying, okay, that's different. But at the same time, women don't always say, oh, you ugly or this or that. At least not a group of women. Yeah, you're going to get one every now and then. But shit. You still don't know how you gonna make them feel. You still don't. Hey, shoot, I'll share this. I remember I dealt with a couple women. They were like, nah, you ain't all that. One even said, you ugly. Yet, she's one of the first women to say that she loved me too. I'm just saying. See, here's the thing that guys gotta understand. And even someone like me who's telling you as much as I can see and know about a woman's nature, I've always said I'm still not a woman. So a woman when she's looking at a guy who she considers handsome could be totally different. It will be totally different from what other men did. You know? Because you can try, even as a heterosexual man, you could think, well, nah, he's getting. But I've pointed out some dudes to women who, you know, in my eyes were average. Even now when I say, you know, average guys out here getting it, I'm still a man. I ain't seeing it like a woman. I've had several women point out guys who would seem average to me as a heterosexual man, who women were like, oh, he's gorgeous. He's gorgeous. And I know some other men here probably had the same situation. You don't know. In fact, I guarantee this. I'm gonna use the word guarantee, because, and the reason I'm gonna say guarantee, because of a certain situation. Some of these stars out here that you got the guys in the magazines picking, not the women picking, or they holding up as like very attractive. If you had some women really pick them, they probably be saying something totally different, because they looking at it totally different. I've known several women who've done that, and even some of these superstars that are held up as the most handsome, it's usually the guys picking the list. And the women, I've known women who said something about some, I could call some names, the women actually say, "This ain't, nah, he ain't all that. I don't know what other women seeing. I don't know what anybody's seeing." Now, some women might see something, but here's something else too to consider. You got to even take superstars for granted. There are two types of superstars: actors and, well, take with a grain of salt as far as what their attractiveness, rather. You get two types: the actors and the models. First of all, I've never really seen women go crazy over any models other than Tyson Beckford. Like the women saying stuff about him. Like I don't see anything the women say, "Oh, this model's so fine." Like a woman's channel, anything, saying anything. Or saying anything. It's always men going crazy over the models and saying, "Yeah, they this and they that." With the exception of Tyson Beckford, I haven't seen any women going crazy over the models. More men go crazy over. More men go crazy over. And then with the actors, honestly, so much of it depends on what they acted in and the personality they show. Go back to my last video, you know? Like, no disrespect to like somebody like Idris Elba, but would women be going crazy over him now if he didn't play Stringer Bell? I had to remember that name. If he never played that role, would they be going crazy? Because one of the things with a lot of the roles they play, remember, it's not just what they look like, but the personality they exhibit in those roles. Remember, see, that's tapping back into their personality, into their heart's emotion. But see, it'd be the men saying, "Oh yeah, they this and they that." I want y'all to really think about that shit. Really think about it. Really think about it, because you gotta take it. And here's the lesson with it all. At the end of the day, you just gotta fix yourself up to be the best you can be. You can't worry about what convention is saying or what the mainstream. You know, all you need to do is focus on the women who feeling you. That's it. That's the important thing. All right. So anyway, that's all I have for now. I had to address that. Because seriously, use some common sense. Why would you care what another man thinks? Seriously. I want you to just say, I don't have to add anything. Why would that matter? If you're trying to get with women, only their opinion matters. That's it. And especially the woman you trying to get with. Her opinion matters. Everybody else, don't worry about it. Seriously. That's why sometimes when some guys hit me up, "Well, let me see you about it," I was like, now, I can tell you if you look like you muscular or something. That's about it. I can't judge how a woman see your face. Like I said, I've lost count of how many women have pointed out somebody who looked average to me, and the women like, "Oh, he's gorgeous." Women, the reality is women just going to see men differently. And there's nothing wrong with that. They supposed to. So anyway, that's all I have for now. Get back with y'all. Peace and blessings.